It is the Frank and Friends Show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And it's another Seymour Smokies Insider Edition from Gatlinburg, Tennessee at Alewine Pottery.
And I'm excited, Frank. We're going to get to see so much pottery today and the potters who make the pottery and maybe find some great Christmas presents. Hint, hint.
If you're catching the 6-minute version of our episode at SeymourSmokies.com, seek out the long version on our website,
FrankandFriendsShow.com.
because there's so much pottery to be potteried.
There's so much pottery.
There's so much clay to be potterized.
A really long episode for you. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, let's get inside, say hi to Robert and Connie and everybody else in the Alawine family and find out how it's done.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Kathryn, this is Robert Alewine, and look at that. We've been on for 1 second, and look, he's already taken a
a glob of clay and turning it into something beautiful.
Well, the beauty of clay is it's very spontaneous. Mm-hmm. And when you touch it, it does something.
Nice.
Does it tell you what it wants to be?
I hope not.
I mean, you have to tell it.
A lot of mad pots.
I mean, you know what the demand is. You know whether today we're making bowls or vases or coffee mugs. You know what we need, right?
People come in and they'll say, how do you get your inspiration? I say, well, I got this little blonde wife that walks through here going, we need bowls, we need mugs. So there's my...
That's your inspiration.
It is.
Well, can you give us a hint as to what this is going to be?
Yeah.
What is it?
A bowl.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. When you're learning, and you've been doing this, practically your whole life. I mean, you've been here in the Smokies for almost 40 years. When you're learning, what is the first thing that you learn? Is it a bowl? Is that the most basic shape of pottery?
Yeah, it's the easiest shape to learn.
Okay. What's the hardest shape?
The bigger, the harder. You start out, you're making with a ball of clay about like that. You make a bowl because the wheel wants to throw the rim of it out. So a bowl makes it easiest. When you start making something and you come up with it, it's got to have control, and you can swell it and then you choke in the neck for a bottle. But it's all about the size of the pot.
Okay.
And you have a lot of beautiful pots out there that have some carvings in them. Mm-hmm. Do you do that while you're here at the wheel, or do you do that later?
Next day. It's got to stiffen
next day
before you start doing any work on it.
Yeah.
So this is the most basic part of it. It's got to be the structure. It's got to be able to stay in one piece, right?
Yeah, and it's also the fastest part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A pot takes 2 weeks, start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
This takes about 5 minutes.
And a bowl, or I'm just going to sound stupid, but the difference between a bowl and a pot is size?
Well, they're all pots.
Oh, okay.
Every pot we make
is pottery.
Is a pot. I mean, everything we make, and then you start getting specific.
I see. Notice how he's got a sponge in his fingers that he's using to...
It's a lubricant. The water's the lubricant.
Yeah.
See? And that's
it's
the
so
easiest
beautiful.
part.
And just the hum of the wheel is just relaxing.
It is, and you can see all of the lines, and they're moving, and it's really
Do you ever accidentally leave your fingerprints that, the FBI would be able to say, oh, I know who made this one?
Yeah. After all these years, I don't have much fingerprint left.
Really?
They're filled in with clay.
They're not wore out.
But you do, now you have multiple artisans who work here. We're going to see Katie in a little bit.
Sure.
But when you make one personally, you mark it as such.
I put my name on it if it's mine. And if my crew does it, they'll put Alewine Pottery on it, and they'll put their initial on it.
Uh-huh.
But, I don't make as many pots as I used to.
Okay.
I'm slowing down. So I get to spend a little bit more time on my pieces, and I'll sign everything I do. I used to make 100 pots a day. Now, if I make 20, I've had a great day.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But in my line, I started making pots in 1973. I was 19 years old, and it is all I had done.
Yeah.
I probably made 1 million pots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if you're doing 100 in a day, that racks up the numbers
racks up
very
pretty fast.
I probably made 1 million pots in my life.
That's amazing.
And Now I can go into an antique mall and I go, hey,
That's one of mine. Yeah.
Do you ever dream about your pottery?
No, not much.
I wonder, oh, that one I made in 1978, that was a pot.
People will come up to me and they'll say, I got this pot I made for you, that you made for me, and it's got this and that, and I'm going, I don't even remember doing any like that.
Oh, wow, because there's so
But
many.
There's so many of them. And
Yeah.
they'll send me a picture and I go, we'll make another one like that. That was really pretty. I forgot
Bring that
way more
design
than I
back,
ever
you know?
remember.
Yeah.
How do you, yeah.
That's
Oh,
great.
look how pretty this is.
I know.
The thing I love about what I do is I call my craft working class art,
Okay.
because working class people come in and buy my pots, and I'm a working class guy. So that's how I view what I do.
Well, because not only is it art, but it's also utilitarian. I mean, we actually, I've told you this last time I was here. My wife and I use the apple bakers because they're useful.
Yeah, and working class people won't buy it
Yeah.
unless it has a function.
Right, that's
Right.
what I'm trying to say.
They
They're functional.
justify the cost
Right.
by it having a function. So I make functional ware. I just try to make it as pretty as I can.
Nice. This is one of the best places in all of Gatlinburg, right here in front of the fire at Alewine Pottery.
Oh, isn't it beautiful and warm?
Kathryn, I'm not going to accuse you of being an expert at shopping, but you sure seemed comfortable.
You could accuse me. It wouldn't be the first time. You can luxuriate in the pumpkins.
Oh, that's a Frady trademark. I think
is.
that's a thing now.
Yeah.
You're going to make that. You're going to keep making that a thing, aren't you? Until
I am.
people actually get out there and
Like
luxuriate. in
pick
the
up on
pumpkins.
it, and it's going to be like
Yeah.
a tradition every holiday.
People are gonna
in
luxuriate in
October.
the
We're going to
pumpkins.
luxuriate in the pumpkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to next year to see if you even remember.
Oh, I'll remember.
Oh crap!
I love shopping, especially at Christmas time. I love buying gifts for people and trying to find that perfect item. You know, this is what I call James in the morning sometimes, pumpkin. So maybe
Oh.
this is a good mug for him.
Oh, all right.
Good morning, pumpkin.
Now you had your eye on several beautiful pieces here at Alewine Pottery. Like, for example, one that someone needs to buy for you is the coffee mug that basically screams Kathryn Frady. It says right on it, "Not a morning person."
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I'm just trying to say.
I think noon is the morning, you know? It's perfect. Yeah.
Kathryn's motto is, "It's always 5 a.m. somewhere else."
Well, 5 a.m. if you stay up that late, it's
Yeah.
okay, but, you know. Anyway.
But that's a mug that talks about you. But you liked several of the things we saw here.
Yeah, they had mugs, that described everyone. So I think that the mugs are great. But I also really loved the holiday pots that they had where you can put
Oh,
the
yeah.
candle, and
The ones that look like snowflakes that were carved
snowflakes
out.
were beautiful. The nativity set, I think my mom would really enjoy that one.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think just the shadows they would cast on the wall would be fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
they would be.
you're not supposed to turn it around backwards, but I might do it.
Yeah, that could be interesting if you put it in the right place in the house.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could get the shadows and the front of it. But got some Christmas trees.
The Merry and Bright collection.
I got another nativity.
Do you know any people who are like ever named words like that? Like if their last name is Bright and then they name the girl Mary, or if her last name is Christmas and they name her Mary.
I mean,
Have you heard of that? People do that.
people do that. My sister-in-law's name is Mary, and she loves Christmas, and they named their daughter Noel.
Oh.
They had lamps
Oh sure.
that
So
were beautiful.
beautifully carved.
I loved all the maple leaves and the different.
Now that really is something signature. And when Robert Alewine talks about just, on his house, around his property, collecting maple leaves during the course of the year and freezing them so that they always have a supply.
That's right. He just defrosts them in water, and then they
Yeah.
have a supply of leaves. That's
And
right.
then that's nature's beauty itself, directly on to the mug or bowl or whatever it is you buy here at Alawine that's got the maple leaf on it. That's a real maple leaf from East Tennessee.
Yeah, and the mountains.
Yeah.
And I love how all of the pottery here has kind of a nod to the Smoky Mountains. This one has mountains carved into it. It's like the Smokies.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like the same relative proportions as the Smokies too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what was that? Just a tumbler? You would just drink
Tumbler
beer?
or-
What would you drink out of that, Kathryn?
Or you could even, it could be a vase too.
Oh yeah,
You know? Or cider. I mean, that would be a good
good cider mug.
size of cider. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Mama bear and baby bear.
Look at all these colors.
Wow. So I'm guessing that's one of the more expensive pieces. I wish I hadn't asked you to pick it up because now I'm getting nervous.
I'll put it back down. It is beautiful though.
One of the things that Jerry and I bought one year after the Gatlinburg Improv Fest were some apple bakers. And the one we have is like the one you're holding. It's fairly shallow. But they have some new ones since last time I've been here that are much deeper. Look at that. Hold up one of those deeper ones. I guess you know what you could do with that one? You could put in more sugar.
More sugar, bigger apples.
Yeah, more of everything.
Maybe you could do multiple apples in one that's deep. What do you think?
Well, I think the point is that you stick
core.
the apple on that so that's how it heats, how it cooks the inside.
I see. Yeah.
And Lael is, he's our main potter here.
Oh, okay. What made
It is
you
rewarding for sure.
get into pottery?
Actually, I didn't know anything about pottery before I started working here. I grew up, you guys met Brandon in there.
Yes.
I grew up best friends with Brandon, and he just happened to live next door to Robert. So
Okay.
we, growing up, we were working in arcades and, just little tourist jobs downtown and stuff. And he got a job here, and so I just, I was tired of all that. I wanted out of that, and I thought, pottery would be cool. And I walked in and I saw Robert do it once. That was just it,
You were sold.
That was it. I'd never seen it done before. I'd always been into, art and music and stuff like that, but I had never seen it done before, and I didn't really plan on doing it, honestly. Just after I saw him do it, I decided, I've got to at least make a cup and a bowl. That was my whole thing. So make a cup and a bowl to take home, just use. And so I just started practicing. He lets anybody on the wheel if you want to. So I would just work on my breaks. I'd stay late just because I love doing it. And he found out one day and put me to work.
Nice.
He saw a talent that you have and started making you use it. That's
You
great.
gotta want to. He always says you gotta be stubborn to be a potter. I think that's probably pretty true. Well, these are called bats. These are just they're made out of plaster. It's just kind of helps us with bigger pieces. I don't know if you saw him kind of cutting and lifting stuff.
Yeah.
These helps us just to be able to move the pot off without having to touch it.
Wow. I would have given up 5 times by now, thinking it was the wrong shape. Well, it's supposed to be a cylinder.
That's amazing.
I clearly failed. But no.
No, I mean my first ones look like your first ones would. And everybody's bad at first. These are actually pots for Katie over there, for one of our other potters.
Hmm.
Gonna be doing some etchings and design on the side of them.
Nice. You smoothing it out when you do that?
Yeah, I'm just getting the shape. I want a straight line. I want it to, that's why I use this bigger one. This one, you have to be a little bit more steady.
Oh.
It's kind of easier to get that straight shape that I'm looking for with this tool here.
Katie Barnes. Have you
Katie
ever carved a
Barnes
barn?
doing the carving.
You should carve some barns.
Should carve more barns.
Oh, look. So you're putting in all the detail here.
So this
Okay.
This is a different texture that I just started doing, and I thought it would look really cool on lamps.
Now, I have a question. Is that a pottery implement or a kitchen tool?
This is made for pottery.
Okay, because I think my wife has one of those and I don't
Does
know what to
she?
do with it.
I think it's like maybe a potato peeler. It
Probably,
kinda
yeah.
looks like it would.
How do you describe the pattern? What is the pattern?
This This is new, and I've never had to describe it before. It's almost like a wood texture, a little bit different, more of like a feathered.
Yeah.
That's why
I like that texture that you're creating on that, though. It's going to be nice.
it feels really nice.
It feels really nice.
Oh, look at those
little bears nuzzling. They're so
The
cute.
first one's
Do you
good.
freehand these? So do you also do, are you a painter or a, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love to paint as well, but lately I've not had enough practice. And
So somewhere though, you
lost it.
learn. Okay, to make a bear, I got to start with a basic shape.
I always start with the ear, and then go to the head,
And the nose.
snout. Yep,
Yeah.
and then from there, it's much easier.
It's so detailed. You can even see the tuft of hair on the little baby bear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
add a
now we
little
can
eye.
now we can see.
You can see.
Make sure they have noses.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you ever see real bears up here?
Oh, always, yeah. I mean, you can, if you look at the dumpster out there, you'll see bear clay paw prints sliding down. It's bear finger paint.
Oh, well, that's
most of the
good.
time.
So
they-
you're encouraging, bears to make art as well.
Yes.
Bear-
Keep peace, make
bear
art.
artistry.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think that's nice.
Eventually, the bears are going to be smart enough to open their own shop. I think.
They probably
might
already
try.
are.
Oh, each one's unique.
Yeah, they're all a little different since I never use a stencil. And I don't like that.
Well, that's the fun of it. Now, Robert signs his. How do you sign yours?
Katie B.
Katie B.
So you're creating the bark right now?
Yes. This is the bark of the
We call it Katie bark.
Katie bark.
Yeah, Katie
Not to
bark,
be
Katie
confused with
bears.
Katie Barnes.
Yeah.
I love you guys. You're fine.
I love this so much. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really fascinating to watch you do this.
No, because this is how lame I am with art. I thought it was finished before we see.
I know it looked amazing before,
It
and
was
like
already
now all
done.
of these details.
And now I'm like,
you know?
oh, I thought it was done, and the bears at that point didn't have eyes or noses, and the tree didn't have any definition. And I thought, oh wow, that's really good.
I know it was
I
good.
fall in love with things in weird parts of the process, and then like as it continues, I love stuff before it's glazed almost better than when it is glazed, even though you can't use it, it's not functional, it'll break into a million pieces, but like for some reason there's something beautiful about it before.
Well, but this
it's
is your
fired.
part. That's why you love it, because
Yeah, I
this is
guess.
the part where it responds to you.
Right.
You know, once it's glazed, you're finished with it.
That's it. You can't do anything to fix
Yeah.
it at that point.
But it
Yeah.
also talks about how like the process for anything great is beautiful, right? So
Every step of it.
every
Yeah.
step of the process is beautiful, and I think that's
Yeah.
a really
You're not
nice
rushing to
sentiment.
get past this to the glaze.
That's
You
right.
want to savor it.
yeah,
I do.
and something that takes as long as these make. I mean,
I definitely will hold stuff back here before I put it on the sales floor just to stare at it for a while. I'm like, that's too pretty. It's going to
it's-
sell immediately, and I'll never get to see it again.
well, and it has such a history. It's had so many hands,
Exactly.
on it, and all the details
Right,
that go
because
into
someone
it.
else threw the pot, and someone else is going to glaze the pot.
Yep.
And I'm calling it that because that's what you all call it, but it's a lamp. Someone else built it into that shape, and you're decorating it, and then someone else will glaze it and put the lamp in it, electricity, all the things.
Yep.
And
It's a big collaboration.
she says this is slow going, but
Still looks good.
it looks amazing.
You know, it is the glazing room, Kathryn. That's why they also have glazed donuts in here.
Ooh, fantastic. For all your glazing needs.
Hi, Brandon. I'm Frank. That's Kathryn.
Nice to meet you.
What color is that?
This is what's called red gold.
Red gold.
Yep. And it's Robert's had that color for a very long time.
Kind of a signature Alawine.
definitely. You'll see it on a lot of his pieces when he first started out. So I really like that color.
Okay. So you just barehand it into the.
Basically, I'm just going to put the base on it. So normally I'll put the bottom color on first, and then I'll come back and layer the top.
Oh, all right.
And And each glaze has its own count to it. So like how long I'm actually holding the pot.
Oh, and how long you shake it or how much you shake it?
Yeah, yeah.
And so each glaze is different?
Yep.
Because if you can see, Frank, there's little beads on the...
Yeah, and we
On
don't
the
want
leaf.
that to show up on the final pot.
Oh.
You know, 'cause
Oh,
then
okay.
the leaf would be all spotted with
Yeah,
glaze. You know?
I see.
So what I'll do is I'll wipe the bottom just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the shelf when we put it on the final fire. Very important
That's
part.
a good... Yeah.
And then I like to try to get it while the beads are still wet
Yeah,
because
that's attention to
Just like
detail.
that.
That's part of the artwork. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll set these right over here because I'll put brown on the top, then a blue, and then another variation of blue. And so it'll get 3 colors on the top. So altogether it has 4 different glazes on it.
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
So these are the same ones you just did the
Yep.
red gold on.
See that how quick that dried? Like
Yeah.
it'll take too
You're already
long
holding
before
it and
I'm
it's
able
not-
to hold it. And
yeah.
It's not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have fingerprints in it. There we go.
And this
Pretty
is
much
what
covered.
color?
This is called Timaku, which is a brown. And it's a very old Asian glaze. It came from, you know, Asia and stuff that they do. You'll see a lot of pots that they do in Timaku color. Just
Okay.
And if it drips down a little bit, that's okay.
That's okay too.
That's part of the art.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, like in the glazing department anyway, like I try not to have any straight lines on
Yeah.
any of the pots because it's a little boring. that
Yeah,
way, you know?
absolutely.
So I always try to make sure that I'm either layering it in a way where it's gonna, you know,
Kind of drop and
move
melt.
more
Yeah.
on the pot,
Yeah.
or you know, I'll make it do that myself by adding some drops or something like that to just
Nice.
make it want to flow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to cover as much of that top color as I can.
Okay. Oh, I see. So the top color is invisible to us, but and not invisible to the kiln when it comes out.
Exactly.
It's called a
Oh my-
car kiln.
Car kiln? Because you can fit a car in
Those
it?
are burners,
Why is it a car kiln?
because it's on wheels.
Oh, all right.
We're going to give you the drama.
Oh my gosh.
It goes to almost 2,400 degrees.
Oh my heavens.
These are the burners. Got the same thing on the other side.
So these pots have already had their glaze on them, and now they're finished. They look finished. Oh my
This
gosh.
is how they come out.
Oh, these are beautiful. These are so gorgeous. Are they hot to the touch still?
No.
Oh, they've been cooling for how long do they have to cool?
These were fired Monday night.
So this is now 48
It's
hours
still
later.
warm. I
A
mean,
little bit warm.
it's still a little warm.
Oh yeah, they're still warm.
Yeah, these are beautiful.
Hey, Becky. There.
I love the 3 different colors here.
Oh wow, yeah, you would know that's an Alawine pot just by looking at it. You know,
It's gorgeous.
anywhere. If you walk in anybody's kitchen and you see that, you're gonna know.
A lot, our reputation's built on color.
Yeah.
The thumbers. That little rascal right there. I got that idea off of a German beer stein.
Nice. I see
And
the resemblance
the
there.
beer steins you push forward with,
Right.
and these would pull back on. But that's where I got that thought.
That makes sense.
Look at that. Oh, I see. You even have like
The camper.
Is that the? It's not Airstream. It's another something.
No, but this is the same camper that they had at
Anakista. There it is. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. Anyone?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
It's from Very Good Eddie, or No Nanette, one of those.
I don't know it.
1920s Broadway for $200.
I know that song. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's from No Nanette. And in the Broadway revival in the 70s, Jack Gilford, who was the Cracker Jack commercial guy, sang that.
Oh,
Why do I know this? How is this possible? Because my
because you're
dad.
Frank Murphy. The more leaf ones, that one looks really great in the middle there. With
Oh,
the
I see.
cutouts and the
That one right there?
that one.
So that's really a lot of art when you think about it. You've got
Really.
the natural leaves, but you have to carve around it and still make it structurally sound.
And so the ones behind us, what part of the process are they in?
They're ready to fire.
They're ready to fire.
Why do the leaves appear green to me?
It's got wax on it.
Okay, so is that an autumn leaf or just a regular leaf, or does it
It's a
matter?
regular leaf. We collect the leaves up all during the year and put them in freezers.
Oh, wow.
So when you take it out of the freezer, you just put it in some water and it goes back limp like it was when we got them.
That makes sense.
I'm probably the only guy in
Who
the
freezes?
eastern United States that freezes leaves
You may
in a
be.
big chest freezer.
These are glazed or not glazed?
These are
Oh, you can. It's,
Okay, but the glaze looks plain because it hasn't been fired. So this is another set. I see. Oh, that's warm inside there. Oh, Kathryn, this is. You can just go sit in there. It's like a nice sauna.
I know. I felt that. I was like, oh yeah, it is.
But here,
nice.
so this is another truckload or carload, I guess we call it, a car kiln. And what are the, I mean, other
Those
than
ashtrays or
spoon rest.
spoon rest? Oh,
do you have tired
nice.
spoons, Kathryn? Are
I
your spoons
do.
worn out? They
My-
need an Alawine spoon rest.
I was always looking for a good spoon rest. This is the online store.
Online is such a big business. These can't be put out in the regular store for retail. These are ready to be sold online.
Every pot's different. So if you put a pot online, you've got to take that pot off the shelf and put it back.
Oh, so when I'm buying it online, I'm
You
buying the
buy
exact pot that I'm
pot.
seeing.
Right. So we have a separate inventory for online.
Frankly, I'm impressed.
Well, you would be Frank because you are Frank. Yeah, I'm really impressed too. Frankly,
I mean, think about all of the artwork that we saw being made right before our very eyes, just here on Glades Road in Gatlinburg.
you know it's amazing to actually hover over an artist and watch them work and not disturb them, like we
Yeah.
did with KDB.
I don't know how she put up with us, but
know.
she did and seemed to be okay with it. But same with Robert, same with Lael, same with everybody.
Brandon,
we were really
the glaze.
getting up in their business to see how they make these beautiful signature pots. I mean, you can recognize a mug or anything from Alewine Pottery. You know, like Robert said, he could spot it if you put 100 pots in the parking lot. He would be able to pick out his. I think you could too.
Absolutely, especially with that special maple leaf that they use.
And just the way they glaze the pots, it's got a signature look to it. So if you want something, a gift for someone that really just says Gatlinburg with a capital G, Alewine Pottery, of course, is world famous for that. I mean, everybody who has ever turned on a cable TV channel in Gatlinburg has seen the Alawine channel.
That's right, and even if you can't come all the way up here to Gatlinburg, you can order it online at their website.
Yeah, and they've got a special, section for that, and they're going gangbusters, doing great business with that. And I'm impressed, of course, by, we talk about supply chains in the news. We saw the entire supply chain happening from a mound of clay, to a shaped piece,
That's
to a dried piece, to a carved piece, to a glazed piece, to a baked or kilned piece.
There's a long process, and it takes, I think he said, 2 weeks from start to finish for one piece, and we got to see the whole thing. It was really exciting.
And all those individual artists, each doing their each doing their major part, really.
That's right.
To make it just so.
10 hands on each item, is that what they said?
About that, yeah. So you get what you pay for at Alewine Pottery. You're getting quality craftsmanship and work, and I highly recommend, checking them out online, or better yet, coming here and just sitting by the fireplace, find the mug that fits your hand just perfectly.
Yeah, and you can have beauty and function with all of their items, which is, what more can you ask for?
So thank you to Lynn, Connie, and Robert for the hospitality, and like we mentioned, to Lael, Katie, and Brandon for letting us interfere.
Absolutely, letting us pick your brains while you're working.
If you happen to catch the short version, the 6-minute version of our episode through SeymourSmokies.com, you really are going to want to check out the full-length video.
And you can find that at FrankandFriendsShow.com.
Thanks so much for watching. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you again next time.